I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic, and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
He's the prime cut passer from behind the meat counter. It's Fairway Frank. And introducing a 6'3" center who's a cut above the rest. Say hello to Audie Crooks.
Everyone, welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic pregame show. It is a big day for Cyclone Hoops. I'm your host, Leah Nelson. Chelsea Poppens will be joining me in the studio today to talk about your Iowa State women's basketball team taking on UCF tonight at 6. Should be an exciting game, but before we get started, as always, let's thank our sponsors. I feel like everyone would be able to read word for word what I'm about to say, but starting off with Channel Seed, our title sponsor. They are the title sponsor for both the men's and women's shows, so obviously we love having them on board. Great people, even greater Iowa State fans, and our friends over at Fairway Meat and Grocery. Our good old friends at Fairway, they have the best products, produce, anything and everything, but don't take my word for it. Make sure you check out Fairway when you have a chance. All right, Chelsea, time to talk Iowa State, UCF. Last game, Iowa State beat them 90-56 or something around there. But you mentioned this before we started recording. They were down, UCF was down 2 of their players. So talk about kind of what we could see from UCF tonight.
Yeah, so they have Caitlin Peterson, who is one of their top scorers, is their top scorer, and Emily Rodriguez, that back, who they didn't have that first time around. They're both guards. They're probably going to be able to handle the ball better than they did the last time around, considering that last time we had an advantage in points in the paint, and points off of turnovers was 26-10, and points in the paint was 40-22. And so I think they're just going to have a little bit better control over the tempo, especially with those 2 guards being in there. Caitlin Peterson, she's leading with 20.7 points per game. And then Emily Rodriguez is 3rd in scoring and 2nd in rebounds. So both very key contributors, seniors. I know they're only 3 and 13. But I mean, I at this point, like, Iowa State can't come in thinking that they're going to win it all, because Iowa State is playing their best basketball. I know they just played a veteran team, Baylor, and got beat, but they do still constantly have to show up to each and every game.
I've probably asked you this before, but what is your mindset going into a game where you've already played the team earlier in the year, and especially in this situation where Iowa State played really well against UCF and kind of blew them out of the water? So what are the girls kind of thinking ahead of 6 o'clock?
Well, I'm sure they reviewed the last game, the things they did well, the things they didn't do well. And so they know what to expect on that front. So there's that confidence, but also knowing that they were missing 2 of their key players that, I'm sure those were probably the main players that they were studying up till this point to the game today. So, last time they could expect the trap and switch on defense. I think they'll be coming in with still a little bit of confidence because they just got done playing Baylor. They didn't play absolutely horrible. Baylor's a veteran team. And the balance, Iowa State's much more balanced than we were when we played UCF the last time. There's a lot more players like Kelsey Jones, Sydney Harris contributing, and I'm blanking, and Brown and Crooks. They don't have an answer for Crooks. They have a 6'3" player. What's her name? They have a 6'3" player, a Colacott, who I think she's going to be, is that the right one? Let me just double check.
I think it's also important, while you're looking that up, it's also important to know Lily Hansford had a double-digit night when they played UCF last time. So
Yes.
I feel like her coming into this game, she should have a little bit of confidence as well, which will be exciting.
Oh, I was thinking of Nagodu, who's 6'3", who will probably match up on Crooks a little bit. But she's only averaging 6.6 points per game, and I think Crooks is still going to be absolutely dominant. So I think points in the paints is still going to be a huge factor for Iowa State. But yes, hopefully Lily will do her thing again and get in double digits and help everybody out.
Talk a little bit about like this game going into the last game of the season before postseason. I mean, obviously Iowa State can't take, any part of this game off, and they still have to, give 110%. But it's not like they're playing TCU or Kansas State. Talk about how, can they feel a little relaxed? Can they gain a little bit more confidence with this game going into like the end of the season?
Like, I'm sure it's kind of like nice to think of like, all right, like last official like game of the season, game of the season, because there's not
they have Kansas State.
Kansas State, yes,
on Saturday.
So, like it's almost to the not really a finish line because it's not done. Right. But just the fact that they beat them the first time, they should have that confidence and be a little more at ease. But K-State on Sunday. Thanks, Aiden.
Oh yeah, Sunday. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Aiden. When
we're midweek, I'm like tired from real life work.
we're midweek, and I'm trying to like differentiate between men's and women's games, and I'm like, okay, make sure you say UCF and not Oklahoma State when that's going to be on.
Yeah,
in an hour. But shout out Aiden for sending us K-State on Sunday. Yes.
Shout out Aiden for keeping us on track and valid in our statements.
Yeah, we're not even playing basketball, and I feel like these girls are like a bajillion games in, and they're probably not ready to be done, but end of the season probably gets to be a lot. I mean,
we talked about last time the exhaustion and the injuries that every single team is facing right now, and the mentality of the fatigue of bouncing school and an entire season that's like, it's a long season. There's a lot of games all the time, and it's not even done. And March Madness just gets even more pressure and like the pressure to fall well on the bracket. It's like, obviously fans are constantly in their face about it, and they're just trying to play one game at a time and play the best basketball that they can as the season wraps up.
I was going to say, like, it's not even like, yes, they're close to being done with regular season, but this is the time where you have to be like locked in, super focused, with tournament right around the corner. And then obviously, like, I don't know, it's just,
you're just like, no, they can't relax. They can't not show up. They can't just be like, we got this.
No, no, not at all, girls.
You're like,
lock in.
Like a whole other month.
lock in. But overall, you're feeling confident for tonight for Iowa State. I'm feeling confident. I think it's gonna be a fun game. Obviously, UCF has a couple more girls that they didn't have last time, but we both agree that Iowa State is playing some of their best basketball. So I think it's gonna be a really, really fun game tonight.
Yeah, it'll be a good tee up for Sunday's game.
Yes, Sunday. Did you hear that, Aiden? Sunday.
Versus State.
Yes, of course. Well, thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate it. Iowa State taking on UCF right at 6 o'clock. Shout out to our sponsors, Channel Seed and Fairway. And make sure you guys tune in the next at 6:30 for the men's pregame. I'll be on with Rob Gray and Connor Ferguson, so it should be really exciting. But thanks for listening, and go Cyclones.